everybody, this is Chris from also Prince Gastino, and I'm with William behind the camera, and for some reason I got bamboozled into making mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is extremely simple. You should have mustard. Here's the thing about mayo. Mayo is one of those things you can't really screw up. Well, you can actually screw it quite easily. I've actually made mayo with yellow mustard, without powder. I generally use powdered mustard. I'm not sure if you do.
I'm a big fan of Dijon. I make all my homemade mustards.
Yeah, you can either play with that with lemon juice or a vinegar. I'm going to play with this because it's nice and expensive.
Available at Birch and Boar.
That's like bittersweet.
That's one of the world's best vinegars, 4 of them.
Yeah. So we got some of that, some shots of that in there. From there, we'll probably start getting these things whipped up and we'll get an egg in there. You only need 1 egg, unless you screw it up, and then you need 2 eggs.
Lots of fun cheating things you can do too, like you throw in a little bit of xanthan, and then you can just throw all the oil, everything in there one go, and you whip it up, and it's good, but everyone does it. Everyone has their own way of doing mayo.
Yeah. For the longest time, I actually used this end. This can really be a slam dance for if you use really expensive, really nice oil. Otherwise, you can just use this. I generally will do salt at the beginning, and then I'll taste it.
Anything else you got? Do you do pepper? Do you do... There you go.
If you think you've used enough pepper, think, oh, that's enough pepper. Do a few more. I generally don't do a lot of playful mixing. I don't add a lot of additional seasoning. Primarily because when you have mayonnaise, it's something you add stuff to. So you like, if you're like, oh, I'm going to add garlic, or you can just add garlic to whatever you're making.
Yeah.
This is just good old-fashioned olive oil. Once again, if you use extra virgin olive oil, it could get it better if you end up slamming it too hard. I go really small. Like something like this, you can really control the drips. The way of doing that is just have your little thumb in there, and it's not going to pop out very well. It's weird that the emulsion doesn't really kick in. And so you add like, oh my god, it's not kicking in. You add more olive oil, and then it becomes solid, and then you add too much olive oil, and it breaks down again.
Good trick if it starts to break. Instead of adding another egg, just add some nice ice water to it.
5 minutes later.
Good enough.
Few moments later.
This is not extra virgin olive oil.
No, this is almost like
This is a frying olive oil.
Put all your greens to the bottom of your cup like that, and then when it's 3 times the size, you pretty much got enough olive oil in there.
I like pushing it. It's like
pushing to the limit?
Yeah, pushing the limit. Highway to the danger zone. Like having that gas tank nearing empty. This.
I'll show you a trick with that other one though, where you just put all the oil, everything in the one go.
Okay. So if you set your Wayback Machine to the 90s, there was one of those infomercials at night. They were selling these things. It was called Amazing Inventions.
Coming up next on Amazing Discoveries, we're going to show you how to put magic in your kitchen with an exciting new kitchen tool called the Magic Wand.
Actually here, going to make mayonnaise. All we do is an egg, then a teaspoonful of mustard, a little bit of salt and pepper. We need a little drop of lemon juice. Now, do you know what the biggest ingredient of all is in mayonnaise? Would you believe me? Would you believe it's actually oil? We'll pour the oil in. We'd better off opening the top first. Drop the magic wand into the bottom, Michael.
I'm starting to turn. It's starting to get white.
You do, in fact. The problem with them, it's very simple.
This looks just like mayonnaise.
And they did exactly that. And so the first mayonnaise I ever made was exactly like that. Poured all the oil, dipped this in, full blast, slowly brought it out, and it was even. So that's literally the shortcut you mentioned was the first time I ever made mayonnaise.
It's great. I think it needs a little bit more salt.
Yeah, I was just going to do that.
That'll help get some of the little bit of bitterness from the oil. And a little more pepper, because I just like pepper.
Everyone loves pepper. There we go. Mayo. Next time we'll do it, we'll actually show you the shortcut method, but that's the easiest, simplest way of doing it. It takes a bit of time, but I think I said you could swap out the powdered mustard for Dijon. You can swap it with lemon juice. I generally use lemon juice. I generally don't use vinegar, just because The vinegar can impart a lot of different flavors. If you want a nice neutral, and what you would usually expect when you try mayonnaise, I would just go with the lemon juice or the lime. Both of them do the effect. As long as you have an acid, then I think you're good.
Yeah. And the next episode we'll continue the whole chef versus foodie.
Exactly. And so that is mayonnaise from me to you. This is Chris from Prince Gastronome, signing off.